Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. Share with a friend. Thank you very much. And it's getting rough out here, guys. It is getting oh so rough out here. Your New Jersey Devils fall in an absolute shootout heartbreaker by a score of 4-3 to the Vancouver Canucks. And this one's devastating, guys. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I am not going to try to make light of it. This loss absolutely sucked. And wow, we go to the game. I'm not going to spend too much time on this here. Devils give up the first goal. As I've said time and time again for weeks and months now, this New Jersey Devils club plays much better when they have a lead versus when they're trying to play catch-up. And in the first period, they give up a goal to Suter at 10:09, gives Vancouver the 1-0 lead. And wow. What a shot. Markey didn't really have a chance on that. And Vancouver gets the first goal. Devils have to play catch-up. First period ends 1-0. And after the first, I was like, all right, I didn't feel too down in the dumps about it. It's not like we were dominated. I thought the Devils looked decent in the first period. They definitely controlled the game early on, and then it kind of leveled out a little bit. But Vancouver finished the first period with 5 shots on goal and the Devils with 7. Pretty tight playoff-type game. Again, we're going to keep seeing this over and over again throughout the rest of the season. Vancouver playing for their playoff lives, and so you had to expect this. 1-0 Canucks after one. We head to the second, and the march of Meier continues. At 10:24, Timo Meier gets his 21st on the power play from Dawson Mercer and Jesper Bratt, tying the game at 1. And after Timo scored, I was like, let's go. Let's go. The building came back to life. I was at the game. Shout out to my buddy Brian. Thanks for having me, Brian. Another great outing with Brian, and we stuffed our faces, and we saw another terrible loss. But Timo tied it up there at 1, and the building came back to life a little bit. I was feeling good, and that is how the second period ended. 1-1. We go to the third period of the season. A lot of you guys make fun of me for this because pretty much with each passing game, it becomes game of the season, and in tight games, periods of the season. And this third period was the third period of the season for sure. And what do you know? At 11:02 of the third, Timo Meier strikes again for his 22nd of the season from Brendan Dillon and Nico Hischier, giving the Devils the 2-1 lead at 11:02. And at this point, I was like, come on. Let's just close this thing out. I'm happy with a 2-1 win. We're playing playoff hockey. Just grind it out, finish the game, and let's just move on. But the lead was very short-lived. Less than a minute later, the Canucks score their second goal. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. I'm not even going to try to say it. Ties it up at 11:47. Tied up at 2. And this was just a gut punch. The Devils just took the lead. The building, again, ruckus crowd. And they didn't even announce Timo Meier's goal yet. That's how quick it was. Timo scored. They dropped the puck. A little bit later, Canucks score. Literally right after the Canucks scored, then on the PA announcement, you hear the announcement for Timo's goal. Like, that's how quick it was. Timo's goal wasn't even announced yet before the Canucks tied it up at 2. All tied up at 2 with about 8 minutes to go. And I was like, well, here we go. We're going to be on the edge of our seats. Another nail-biter finish. And at 13:25, Erik Haula gets his 9th of the season from Dumoulin, giving the Devils the 3-2 lead with 6.5 minutes remaining. And I was like, yes. Just jubilation came over my body. Once again, the arena's back to life. Everything's good again. We had the 2-1 lead. We blew it. Now we're up 3-2, and we're like 6.5 minutes to go. But there's always that uneasy feeling with this New Jersey Devils club. The roller coaster Devils, the cardiac kids, we've seen it all year. A season of highs and lows, high highs, low lows, and this game was no different. But Devils up 3-2 with about 6.5 left. Not much going for the Canucks down the stretch of the third period. They finally get at around 2 minutes, I believe, or so. Demko comes out of the net for the extra attacker. And with 36 seconds left, Conor Garland ties the game at 3, and this was just disgusting. Canucks in our zone, Quinnhughes dancing on the line, and you're like, get the puck away from this kid. Quinnhughes is an absolute force, guys. One of the best players in the league. Wow. I mean, seeing him live, he's another one. Just explosive, great vision, great sense, great hands, great everything, great skating. I mean, Quinnhughes is elite, elite. It was on display all night last night, and wow. Wow. Canucks tie it up with 36 seconds left. An absolute gut punch. The arena goes silent. We are all just devastated. Third period shots, Canucks with 14, Devils with 9. So through 3 periods, pretty even. Canucks through regulation, 25 shots on goal, the Devils with 21. And, of course, we head to overtime, right? Nothing can be easy. We just can't have easy wins. They all got to be nail-biters. They all got to be crazy. 3-3, we head to overtime. Canucks had a couple chances. The best chance of the entire overtime was Paul Cotter in a 2-on-1. And if he got the puck just a couple inches higher, he would have beat Demko, but Demko was able to make the save. Best chance of the overtime for sure. Paulie Cotter almost got it. But we play a scoreless overtime. Scoreless overtime, and we're headed for a shootout. And I was like, oh, here we go. You got to know going into it, Jacob Markstrom's not the greatest shootout goalie. And, you know, you got a chance with any goalie in there to win, but you got to really get lucky. These shootouts are a terrible way to end a game, I believe. They were super entertaining the first couple years, but it's now come to the point where I think a lot of people, including teams themselves, are just kind of over it, and it's like, this is not how you should be ending a game. It is what it is. The shootout is still in place. I'm curious to see if they ever move away from it and maybe go to a 10-minute overtime. I think a lot of people are in favor of that, and I'm assuming the league will talk about it in the not-too-distant future because a lot of the games are ending in the 5-minute overtime. If they extended it another 5 minutes, I believe 95% of games would probably end in a 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime. But we go to the shootout, and right away I was talking to my friend Brian at the game, and I was texting a couple of my buddies, and I said the only acceptable first 3 shooters in no particular order, the only 3 I would have accepted, Paul Cotter, Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt, and sure enough, that's what we got. But we go to the shootout, and now everyone's on the edge of their seat. This is super heart attack-inducing stuff. Paul Cotter goes first for the Devils, stopped by Demko. Like, oh. Paulie Cotter, we know, has those silky, silky mitts. If I had to pick any one guy to either score on a breakaway or a shootout, that's going to be the guy. Finishes in tight, probably the best on the Devils in that scenario, but he gets stoned. Up first for the Canucks, it's Jake DeBrusk. He beats Markey, and after one shooter apiece, the Canucks are up 1-0. Up next for the New Jersey Devils, Jesper Bratt, and he comes in, throws a beautiful move, and he just buries it. Beats Demko. Super, super clean. Gets the Devils on the board in the shootout. And then up next for the Canucks, Conor Garland. Markey comes up big with the save, and now through 2 frames, we are at 1-1. Heading into the 3rd frame, Timo Meier comes up, loses the puck in the beginning, and I was like, I hope that doesn't throw him off. But a lot of times if you see a guy lose a puck early, even if he recovers it, for whatever reason, it just kind of throws the whole rhythm of the shootout attempt off, and I think that kind of happened here. Timo cocks it back and just tries to fire a wrister in tight and beat him, and Demko was there with the glove to get a piece of it. Timo unable to convert on his attempt. And then up next for the Canucks, and the chance to win the game, Pius Suter comes in, and Markey comes up with a massive save to extend the shootout into the 4th frame. And here I thought the 4th shooter should have been Nico Hischier. I really expected to see Nico out there. Sheldon Keefe decides to go with Luke Hughes, and Luke Hughes is unsuccessful in his bid. And then next up for the Canucks, Lekkerimaki. I don't know how to say it. These names are getting crazy. But he has the game on his stick for the chance to win it. He comes in, beats Markey, and Markey, the fiery, fiery competitor that he is, immediately smashes his stick on the goalpost and then finishes it off, I think, for good on the way out on the boards and glass. And the New Jersey Devils drop a heartbreaker by a score 4-3 in the shootout. I mean, wow. 36 seconds away from a beautiful regulation win, and it results in an epic collapse. Once again, the Devils lack the killer instinct to close the game out, put these teams down when they have them, and it's super unfortunate. Another game and a new devastating way to break our collective hearts. Just unbelievable. Give up the game-tying goal with 36 seconds left and then losing the shootout. My God. I thought Markstrom had a pretty good game overall. Made some good saves. I thought, you really want to get that save on that last goal to tie it up. But there was some traffic in front. I mean, it is what it is. It's just nothing is going right for this team. It does seem like we're cursed between the injuries and all of the meltdowns late in games, whether it's that, that Stars game giving up the game-winning goal with under 4 seconds left, the way they allowed the Flames to come back and steal 2 points from us the other night at the Rock in the 3rd period when we had a 2-goal lead, and I think they ended up with 4 unanswered goals in the 3rd. But wow, I'm devastated. I mean, this was a huge game. I mean, it's obviously better to get the loser point than nothing, but in the end, it's still now a 3-game losing streak. And the Devils on a 3-game homestand get 1 measly point out of a potential 6. .166 points percentage hockey. I mean, wow. Even the 2 points would have been bad. 2 out of 6 is like abysmal. That's .333 hockey, but that's a lot better than 1 out of 6 points and gut punch of a loss. I hope it doesn't continue to keep the team spiraling. They have been just, bad as of late, and it's super unfortunate. We're in all these games. Most of the games they've been playing in as of late have been very competitive and close, outside of that Winnipeg game about a couple weeks ago where we got smashed on deadline day. Outside of that, most of the games have been very competitive. The Devils are right there, and they just find a way to lose. Whether it's they're down and can't complete a comeback or they're up and blow a lead, they just find different ways to break our hearts, and I'm just gutted. I still believe they're going to make the playoffs, but it's going to be the ultimate limp in, I think. But I wouldn't be shocked if we just collapsed and missed. This road trip coming up is absolutely massive. They're going to have to dig deep and really figure it out because this is real gut check time now. 10 games left, and we're not looking great right now. We go to the game stats. Canucks 28 shots on goal. The Devils at 25 shots. Canucks getting the better of the faceoffs, 57.4% to 42.6% for the Devils. Canucks 0 for 2 on the power play. The Devils go 1 for 2 on the power play. Canucks 22 hits. Devils with 16 hits. Would like to see more hits. You guys know I like the hits. Give me some more hits. Canucks 17 block shots. The Devils with 11 block shots. Canucks with 11 giveaways. The Devils with 13 giveaways. Canucks 1 takeaway, and the Devils with 3 takeaways. And that is all she wrote. The march of Meier continues. 2 goals for Timo. All for naught. In a painful loss, Jesper Bratt adds another assist to his single-season record, which now stands at 62. And I don't know, guys. It's a very, very painful reality right now of this New Jersey Devils team. And the fact is they just have not been a good team for pretty much all of 2025. They really haven't been. It seems like, based on what Keefe is saying, that Markey will be the guy if we make the playoffs, which is a big if at the moment, in my opinion. I've said for weeks now it's felt like a coin flip, despite some of the odds makers saying it was like 92% and 93%, I believe, at one point. The Rangers and Islanders are still very much in this thing. They could potentially run us down, and wow. The wild card seems like it's going to be a complete bloodbath fight to the death, as I've predicted. Some of these spots might not be finalized until the final day or so of the season. I mean, it's crazy, but this is what the league wants. Parity is there. The loser point keeps teams alive. The Islanders love the loser point. No one loves the loser point more than the Islanders. I think they had like 15 of them or something a couple years ago. But wow. It's just a painful existence right now for Devils fans. We just got to hope that somehow, some way, they are able to get it together in these final 10 games and get into the playoffs and then hopefully go on a miraculous run. But Jacob Markstrom, the fiery competitor, he was super pissed. And I wish most of the guys in the team wanted to win as much as Markey does. You could tell that guy is a gamer, and he just wants to win at all costs, and he shows it. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and I like that. I want a fiery goaltender for sure. Marty was pretty fiery as well. He didn't always show it as much as Markey does, but Marty had a couple episodes where he smashed a couple sticks in his day. The one that comes to mind the most is that late-game Carolina playoff game. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this game in the comments. I'm sure it's going to be mostly negative, probably a lot of dooming. And at this point, I understand why. I'm still holding out hope. I still hope this team could do something. I mean, the talent is there, at least some of the talent. I have said for a while that the roster has tons of holes, and we are playing with a less than ideal roster, but we do still have some top-end talent, and hopefully they could steal a series. Just get to the playoffs and beat the Canes. That'd be phenomenal. But I'm in pain right now. It's just a harsh existence. It is just a painful time to be a Devils fan, but hopefully they get it together. But yeah, throw anything out there in the comments about Devils hockey. Anything, everything, throw it out there. I enjoy talking to all of you. I'll be back soon. Tons of stuff in the works. And that's about it, guys. I'm just depressed right now. But thank you for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.